Hi, I'm Glenn Davies. I'm the training manager for dormakaba, and I'm going to show you how to install a 40H mortise lock. Okay, so here we have a 40H mortise lock body, and I want to check to make sure it's got the correct handing or door swing before I install it. Otherwise, we could have the incorrect side locked. We don't want to have the outside not locked and the inside locked. That could be a life safety issue, so we make sure we go ahead and check that. So I'm going to use a large screwdriver to check the function after I lock this. This one uses a thumb turn or a key to lock it. I'll simulate that locking with a screwdriver. You see the bolt just extended. And I can see that the little hub here that the handle goes through, if I put the screwdriver in it, I can see that I was able to unlock that from the exterior side of our door. On the interior side, if I lock this, we'll see that I cannot unlock the door, so it's backwards. I've also got the latch in a direction that's backwards for the way this display or little door would swing. So I'm going to show you how to change the latch direction and change which side locks and doesn't lock. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is take a flat blade screwdriver, and put it into the small opening here indicated with the text showing how to flip the latch around. So I'm going to unlock this first. Put the screwdriver in on a pretty good angle. Pushing down and out, I'm going to grab the latch and spin it with my fingers to change the direction. Now secondly, I've got the inside and outside backwards, and I want to fix that now. So you take a number 2 Phillips screwdriver and put it into the H-shaped hub toggle and loosen the screw, and then slide it downward to make it the non-locking side. On the opposite side, which currently does not lock, I'll do the same type of screw here, slide that up, and fasten it. Testing it with my large screwdriver, I can see that in the unlocked position, it works just fine on the exterior. Extending the bolt and trying to draw the latch back and bolt back will not work with the handle on the outside. However, the inside will draw everything back and unlock the door. Okay, now that we have our handing correct, we're going to put the lock body or the case into our display mount, and we're going to loosely fasten it with our large Phillips screws here. The reason we keep it loose is it's difficult to get the cylinder in sometimes if it's tight. It'll give us a little bit of float, is what I call it, a little bit of play to allow the lock to adjust to the angle of the cylinder that we're installing. So again, just a little bit loose. You can see that it's not tight in here. I'm going to take the cylinder and I'm going to put the little wavy washer in here, put the cylinder through it, and if you have a cylinder wrench, this would be a handy tool to have and a step to follow. Put the cam at the upright position, slide the cylinder wrench all the way over the throw pins that are inside there, then you have a nice handle to help install the cylinder. Now I'm going to thread this in. Being careful not to cross thread it. And I'm going to snug it up until it touches the surface of the door and the ring is able to rotate with force but not loose. I want the flat spot on the cylinder wrench to be upward and the little handle portion to be vertical. Okay, so I'm going to remove the cylinder wrench, and I have my control key already in my core, and I can retract the little lug on the side, control lug, and put the core in. Removing the key, I can then test the installation, making sure that the latch is retracted, can be retracted, and the bolt can be extended. At this point, since the cylinder's in, there's no need to have these screws loose anymore. So I'm going to fasten these down and install the rest of my trim. The spring cassettes come next, and the outside spring cassette or exterior side has the through bolt pegs on it. The interior has a flush back on it. We'll put that through from the exterior. Take one of our screws, put it through the spring cassette. Take a number 2 Phillips and fasten it initially loosely on the door. Take our second screw and also install that. Okay, I'll leave this a little bit loose to help us align everything. On the exterior, we're going to put the rose plate on, take the threaded collar and thread it on. Making sure it's well centered so that there's no gaps around the exterior of the collar. We'll fasten it tighter later. Now the next step here is to help align everything correctly. So I'm going to take the 2 handles and I'm going to spin the spindle all the way until it tightens down, put the interior handle on, and rotate it 1 full revolution. That'll give us plenty of motion so that we don't wind up with one side jamming on us. This is the exterior handle that goes through first. I like to hold the spindle in place with my finger as I insert it through the spring cassette on the exterior, through the lock body, and then through the interior spring cassette. Before I install the interior rose plate, I'm going to put the interior handle on to help align everything. I'm then going to fasten the screws down quite firmly. That helps align everything so that it works smoothly. I'll remove the handle, put the interior rose plate on, and thread the collar on. At this point I'll take my spanner wrench and I'll insert the small nub on the spanner wrench into the hole in the threaded collar and snug this up quite tight. I'll do the same on the exterior. Moving back to the interior, I'm going to insert the handle and then tighten down the set screw. Now there's a thumb turn for this particular function, so we'll insert that on the hole on the inside, the spindle going through into the lock body, and we'll take the small wood screws and affix the turn knob to the door. Now we have a faceplate we need to install on the edge of the door. Put that with the logo facing out. Take the small faceplate screws and install those. The final step of any installation would be to check it for function. So the inside handle rotates smoothly, the outside handle rotates smoothly, retracts the latch correctly. If we lock the deadbolt, we can see the exterior is locked. If we hit the inside handle, we can see that both the latch and the deadbolt retract simultaneously, as they should. And then we check with the key again to make sure that works smoothly. So, latch retracts fine, the deadbolt extends correctly and retracts correctly. Well, that was our 40H installation video. The installation can vary a little bit depending on the function you've chosen and the trim options. Thank you.